Rhythm games are a dime a dozen. Good rhythm games, however, are a $2 bill a dozen, or something like that. Anyhow, here's a review of the vegetable-centric rhythm indie, Rhythm Sprout. Released in early 2023, Rhythm Sprout sees you taking on the role of a headphone-wearing onion knight on a quest to save the kingdom's princess. Over the course of 20 levels, you'll tap, tear up over, and tackle a wide range of songs inspired by an even wider range of genres, from lo-fi and down-tempo tunes during the first few levels to polyrhythmic metal and EDM towards the end of the game. The song selection in Rhythm Sprout may be one of its strongest traits. There's hardly a bad tune here, unless you plan to 100% the game, but we'll get back to that. Where the game falters in regards to its music selection is its difficulty. There's a pretty steep difficulty curve throughout the main game's story. It's certainly doable for most players, though you may not walk away feeling particularly accomplished. And if you struggle with the main story, be prepared to lose interest completely if you take on Rhythm Sprout's bonus content. They come in the form of two different level packs. The first is a prequel to the main game, and the other is a series of extra challenging songs. With 10 tracks in total, they offer a nice addition for those who may want to take on the toughest levels that the game has to offer. One gripe I have in regards to this is the lack of easier songs. It doesn't really make the game worse having so many tough songs, but it does mean that I can't spend as much time playing it to relax as I would like, which is unfortunate because Rhythm Sprout is really fun to play. The game's controls are incredibly easy to understand, but a long-term challenge to master. The yellow and red notes correspond to a variety of customizable inputs depending on the system you play on. Hitting these notes will move your character along the level while a variety of events happen around them. Missing these notes isn't necessarily bad, though they will lower your score and/or keep you from moving through the level. Blue notes will occasionally roll your way as well. These are generally only seen during levels with hazards or during a brawl with the game's many mustached enemies. Blue notes correspond to bumpers as opposed to the face buttons on a controller, and are much more dangerous if missed. Missing a blue note will cause your character to take damage, which can lead to a level failure if you're not careful. Thankfully, Rhythm Sprout offers a couple ways to deal with health loss, such as rewarding combos and giving you a super-powered Sugar Rush mode. With Sugar Rush, any note corresponds to any input, and all notes hit are marked as perfect, and your health is fully restored. This simple control scheme makes Rhythm Sprout ideal for pick-up-and-play gaming for those always on the go, or who just want a game that they can complete in a week. I personally rolled credits on the game at around 4 hours, though that was without attempting to 100% every level. If you do plan to go for 100% on all 30 songs, I'd imagine your time in Rhythm Sprout will go up significantly. I consider myself a rhythm game veteran, and I personally have no intent of completing this one in its entirety. Some of these songs are tough, and they all feature turbo, mirror, and random modes if you truly hate yourself. Also, I'm not really sure where to put this, but I had some trouble fine-tuning the latency in Rhythm Sprout. I'm not sure if it was me, the controller I was using, or the position of the sun in relation to my computer, but I found the auto-calibration to be completely useless. It would repeatedly give me results that seemed really high, and this issue was further backed by the poor scores I achieved immediately after calibrating. Thankfully, you're able to fine-tune the calibration manually, and after some time, the timing issue was resolved. I guess it'd also be important to mention the game does have an actual story, like with cutscenes and such. It's not especially interesting or even good, but it does have some clever writing worth devoting a laugh or two to. It's obviously a means to an ends in regards to moving the player through the game. I just can't help but feel it could have been fleshed out a little bit more. There's a variety of multiple choice dialogue options in the form of yes and no, and there's some great jokes hidden in Rhythm Sprout. While it's not really bad enough to skip, the story absolutely makes this game feel even more rushed and lacking than the short song selection does on its own. At the end of the day, I'd recommend Rhythm Sprout to most fans of rhythm games. Those who haven't played much in the genre will certainly have a tougher time, but don't let that stop you from checking out the game. With the addition of a humorous story, a beginner mode, and a cast of colorful characters in a world full of veggies, fruits, and candy, Rhythm Sprout makes for an enjoyable time. It's a shorter game, clocking in at around 4 hours for story completion. The addition of bonus levels, alternate modes, and a variety of unlockables help to pad out the game, but not enough to personally warrant a full-price purchase. If you're a diehard fan of rhythm games, there's certainly a heaping helping of things to enjoy in the game. Just don't be surprised if you end up going bald during your time as a headphone-wearing onion knight.